All right. 5 minutes goes by very quickly when I'm trying to do a couple things all at once. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. Hey, Eric Hayden, nice to see you in the chat. So I thought Kikai's 24.05 meta review was just a fantastic article, but I immediately want to start asking some more questions. So I think a lot of today is not going to be very Netrunner heavy. Though that's maybe not true. I may decide to play Balaram Wu's Q-Loop Ari deck because that deck hits all of my favorite slightly bad kind of play patterns. Give me 1 second. I'm going to adjust some audio settings so that you guys hear some music, but I don't get flooded out by the tunes. Let me know if that's too loud to y'all. I don't have as good sense of that, but it looks like it should be pretty comfortably below. So yeah, I guess this wasn't public at my last release. I did have it, but we have the standard ban list, and it is as simple as this: World Tree banned. I think there's lots of other considerations, and you know, they talk about a lot. I think this is actually a very well-reasoned article. I think I agree with a lot of it. And I think, you know, I think this is like a really interesting kind of guiding principle for a world's ban list is we should support the existing meta because it was a pretty healthy place and maintained stability for worlds. And World Tree is a pretty minimal disruption. That said, I don't like it's interesting. I think if this ban list hits a month earlier than it does, I think potentially we could see the meta like do a lot of explosion. I think one of the challenging things here is that you have to kind of call what you think the meta is going to be into World Tree, or with World Tree gone, because World Tree, and this is one of the things I actually really want to break. This is one of the things I like. I think this is a difficult analysis to do, and I think Kikai's article is fantastic, and it is like I cannot sing praises enough for someone putting out this kind of content. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort. I don't have it together to make this kind of stuff, but I think something I would love to see is how the corpse changed from this part of the meta to this part of the meta, because they're not the same. And runner decks did change, but I feel like they changed in a very different way. It's also interesting that, you know, we talk about consistency. I'm not as convinced it's there, but I don't know that I can say it's not. So what some of this stream is going to be is going back through, cherry picking some of Kikai's data, re-downloading it and processing it for ourselves. But I think this article is just fantastic, and I want to make sure we talk about it some. First impressions, what does World Tree ban? Who does it help? I think it actually takes Ob off of life support and into if you're comfortable with it, and if you enjoy the play style, you can probably make it work. I think that's one of the big winners. I could maybe see, you know, your Asa and your other kind of mid-rangey corpse having a little bit of life breathed into them. But I think you really, in both Ob and Asa, and you need to figure out if you can do something against Reg Lat. Like, I think Reg Lat is maybe... it's weird to say. I don't think it's stronger than World Tree. I think World Tree has a level of consistency that was a big part of why it got banned. But like Lat is not that many steps behind, and this meta review, I think, yeah, Lat actually was the strongest performing ID. One of the things I actually want to look at is, yeah, this is 470 games, so it's unlikely that Sokka has that big of an impact on this. But Sokka did go to 4 events where he played Lat. And so that's probably... Okay, actually, let's do this calculation quickly. So let's say across those 4 tournaments, he would play, let's say they were all 8-round single-sided Swiss and cut, and he would play 2 games of lat in the cut and 4 games of lat in Swiss. So we're going to say, just benchmarking, about 6 games of lat from Saka. And so let's just assume that Saka won every single lat game. I think he went like 20-something and 1 with his lat. Actually, wait, let's just go and see if it's in the deck list. I think it is what his record was, right? Okay, 12 and 1 at East and West US Nats, right? So if we take 14 wins off of, like, if we take, this is, I'm not going to do this on screen, apologies, but okay, so if we take 470 times 0.57, there's 267 wins minus 13, and then divided by 400, and we said it was 13 games. So 457. Yeah, if you take out Saka, does it only take 1 or 2% off the win rate? I hate searching for NRDB searches. Like, how am I supposed to search? Card search, right? And then deck list search. Like, this is as many clicks. And if I misspell Saka, like, it doesn't actually get me anything, right? Oh, it does. Oh, because I didn't misspell Saka. But let's say I type, like, TBU3K, right? I don't think this turns up anything. Let's say I just type Chris. Does this give me Analyze Chris? No. So, like, I have to, like... This is you know, this is not an issue with NRDB, but, like, I have to get names correct to go and get things. And, like, I happen to get it right with Saka, but if I typed in... Saka 234, right? Which is like a very plausible search. Boop. Yeah, it's just tough. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like that can't be right though, because, well, okay, hold on. Let's do this one more time. So there's 470 games. I guess I could, well, okay, 470 games minus 14 games played by Saka. So that's 456. And then we say 0.57 times 470. So there was 268 wins. 268 minus 12 divided by, we said 457. That's saying it's, yeah, Saka only accounts for 1% of that lat win rate. So lat apparently has a very, very impressive win rate. Though this is one of the things I want to see if, like this is, if we go back, oh, now we have to go back a bunch. Oh, 12 and 1. So Saka actually has more lat wins than these 12, right? This is West Coast and East Coast. And okay, so yeah, let's go. This is one of the things I want to do is, like, if I take out really high performers, how does that shift the data? Like, if we take out Saka, does that change the lat win rate? Does that make it 2% of the lat win rate? Maybe it doesn't. Lat also having some of the most, actually, so these stats are really interesting. It's also very interesting, like, ESA has this, like, below 50% win rate, but has a deck that Europeans, or, like, is very popular in Europe, which I think is interesting. It might be that ESA has this, like, reputation for being very comfortable for newer players. So that could be a thing. Yeah, it's interesting that's like, oh, NBN has this high win rate, but, like, it has a fraction of the games played of everyone else. So we have this detailed meta-analysis. I wanted to ask Kikai if he'd be willing to give me the like original stats, because like, but I do kind of feel like, you know, I can't ask for stuff where I'm not going to put the work in, right? So that's one thing. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go and find a bunch of these and start pulling out names and looking at things across the event and in different parts of the season. This is set up in a mode where I can't just like copy this into my spreadsheets. Check out the match data. Yeah. So the big challenge, Kikai, is because I can't copy this, like this is a pain to work with. So like I would, if I could just get this sheet, that would be great. I just don't know. I guess I can try and just copy and paste everything into a spreadsheet. What is early mid? That's very interesting. Round group. Oh, wow. You did really nice stuff here, Kikai. Man, you've done like all the work I want to do here. So clearly I'm not going to find anything, or you kept some secret tech for everyone. But this is, I mean, huge shout outs. This is such a nice data set. I'm going to see if I can get this to copy into a spreadsheet. Oh, this was Frydan? Okay. Ooh, it did copy into a spreadsheet. Okay, I think I'm going to have to switch from just sharing my window to sharing my monitor that I'm looking at here. So give me a second while I like reconfigure OBS, because I'm doing stuff that's kind of silly. I'm gonna name this one Danger Main Monitor, but we're just gonna. All right, now you should be able to hear me. And let's get the tunes going again. All right, there we are. All right, thanks, Kikai. Yeah, have a good night. We'll see. I would not be shocked if I don't find anything in an hour that you didn't spend a long time looking at. But let's quickly tab back here. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff. The way I like to do things... Oh, we're off by 1 here. Yeah, so we just need to do this. Did we miss row 1, or is there nothing in row 1? Looks like we did miss row 1. Okay. Okay, this is 1. Let's make a new sheet. Okay, so we're gonna save. Let's just make our lives a little bit easier. Save as. Oh, I should not be doing this on this screen. I don't know exactly why, but I know it's a bad practice to do your stuff on your show your file paths and stuff, because you know things could happen. This is netrunner data. Yeah, I am very likely doxing myself a bunch today. And we're all just going to have good fun with it and be cool about it. Okay, this is ID types. I actually probably don't need this spreadsheet, so let's not bother with it. But this spreadsheet, this is save as match data 2405 match data, and let's go. I'll admit, Eric, while I really appreciate the sentiment, I am expecting you to be the outlier. Okay, we'll minimize this for now. So now I actually probably don't need the request library, which is great. So now we do PD read CSV, and we get to go and get, I just saved this. If we read this, fantastic, and we will say index call equals 0. Fantastic. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So this music is extreme for what I'm actually doing right now, which is great. Okay, this is, yeah, we'll just call this match data. And then we'll get, I think we'll just get IDs the way I used to get IDs. I actually think that's like, I like this code more. Gives me a bunch of different things I might want to use. Match data. And then we say, what do I want? Wait, what do I have? IDDF. Let's look at the IDDF. Fantastic. And then we will just say faction hue. Let's just get this all in a single thing. And then match data. We can... sorry, I'm like doing very boring data mixing stuff to just make my life a little bit easier. Left on runner identity, right on. Is that the right thing? Yeah, I'm going to assume... Yeah, this looks like it's... Oh, no, it's non-stripped text, right? Do I want... Do I just want title? Let's get... no, we can get, like, head 10. Ampere, yeah, let's just get 20 just to make sure. Okay, we'll try this. And I just call the title. Oh, I need to put a close the parens in. Match data, what are your columns? Oh. Yeah, why would you have a fancy name when you can have a simple name? Okay. Faction code, Anarch, faction hue, orange, red. Okay, we don't have Nova. Okay, so something. Oh, I just don't have a faction hue for that, but it did merge. Okay, now we do this again for. Don't think I want the suffixes. Let's take a look at this. Oh, okay. I guess we do need those, and then we're just going to drop them all. Oh, I guess, no, we do need the faction queue, and then we're just going to drop. Okay. Yeah, and now I can do... This is like way too much code just to get the colors in. Oh. What? Let's just run the whole thing all over again. I think that might be the problem. Awesome. Okay. Oh. That's weird that we got a bunch of extra empty columns. Oh, I know why we got empty columns. Okay, so this we do need suffixes, runner and corp. Okay. And we're going to go back to our original data set. And we're just going to go and delete and save. And run all again. Hopefully this gets rid of the unnamed columns. It does. Let's go. Okay. Great. So now we have all this match data. We have dates. I probably need to convert the dates into something. Oh, right. Okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to get this all into the same thing where I read everything because I'm being very, very sloppy here. We're just going to get this all into one big, long chunk of code, which is not really how you're meant to use notebooks, but also notebooks are terrible for reproducibility. So what can you do? Okay. Okay. Region, online. What are the values in online? I just want to make sure I have that. I'm not going to worry about online versus in person right now, though it's definitely something I do care about. So we've got. No, I want value. Man, describe is not very good, is it? Yeah. Okay. Meet space versus net space. Wow, we have way more entries for meet space and net space. I think that's because of how Kikai did the things. Okay, let's go match data columns, right? We want tournament. Yeah, let's see what the unique tournaments are. I think that's an interesting okay. So this is actually a count, basically, of how many entries there are for each of those. So this is like saying EMEA had 770 games in it. ACC and APAC had 440 and 376. German Nats had 263, though I don't think we can use German Nats because we don't have side data for it, if I remember correctly, which is very annoying. US West Coast Nats, US East Canadian Nats, NANBC Boston. Oh, I was like, man, why do these have so many? I'm like, oh, right, these have so many because they're double-sided Swiss, so you basically have twice as many entries for a lot of stuff. Okay. So if we cut ourselves off at saying we only want 100 or more games played, maybe we'll throw in West Canadian Nats, right? That might be a way to, like, subdivide this data set a little bit. So we'll say large tournaments equals... Oh, does this work? I feel like this is ChatGPT lying to me. Let's take a look at what this is. Oh, but yeah, it doesn't know that I said 100. We'll say greater than 90 just to be fun. Okay. It's also, like, it's something to be said that this, let's see, large tournaments. Right, so now there's, in each of our large tournaments, We now have 100 games that we can use, and now if we go and look at, we take match data, query, tournament, enlarge tournaments. We get a new spreadsheet because everyone loves a spreadsheet, and we want to get table group. Value counts. So we have 264 games in the cut, 137 in low, medium, and high. So actually, something we can do is now we can group by the table group and start looking at, and actually we can also group by round. Let's group by table group and rounds. So we also need to look at what round group. What's it called? Match data columns. Oh, it's lowercase g. Okay. We can also just look at round itself, right? Yeah. This actually might just be, rather than look by round group, we could look at the win rate by round. Seems alright. I'm guessing like this is rough. Round 6 is probably 5 or 6 is when we start switching from single to double side, or like where we start seeing cuts. Okay, so we're going to, and where do we get the result? Result is there. Okay, so we want to group by, what did we say? We wanted to group by table group. Oh, we do have table as well, but round. And then we want to get result value counts. And this is actually basically what we want to see. Okay, great. So now what I want to do is I want to get, so like this is saying in this cut, oh, let's also make our lives easier and say true. I don't think that's going to make a difference here. Are both sides of DSS round counted as the same number? Yes, I think that's also part of that distribution, Chris. I think where they would both be the same, number. Okay, so now I want to. Oh goodness, I want to pivot. Oh, yeah, geez. We have a lot of possible results here. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So now... if I just throw another reset index on, this will look friendly again. Or it looks friendly to me, right? Okay. This is, we're just going to call this data frame, because I don't want to think of a better name for it. Okay, so now we can take df and we can take corp win rate equals that. Man, this data, I am honestly so happy that, oh. It is so nice that someone did this for me. Okay, so how are we going to do this? What we're going to do is we're going to import my favorite plotting package, which is not a plot package I would recommend to people unless you already know ggplot, but if you do, it's very nice. And do the very lazy Python import. df, and then we're going to say aesthetics, x equals round, y equals corp win rate, color equals... I mean, that is basically exactly what I want. Thank you, ChatGPT. No, let's do theme. I like my theme black and white. And let's see what this looks like. Okay. Let's do some pruning on this data frame. So let's cut out, because we have these rounds that, like, there are almost no games played. So let's add another column here, which is df known, we'll just say valid games played equals df court plus df runner, because that's actually the only results we care about, right? And then we take this and we say df query valid games played. Yeah, we'll say 10. 10 seems like an okay number, right? And then this is a bit visually noisy. Let's, you know what? Let's facet wrap by table group as well. Oh, you're gonna be mad at me because oh, shit. So it needs to be like... That should work. Why is that not working? Why are you mad at me? This is the right way to do table group. Okay, we're gonna make this simple on ourselves and rename columns table group into table group. And then just go and do this. I think this should solve the problem. Yeah, okay. See, this is interesting to me. Do we want to also get... I think it's text, or no, it's label equals valid games played plus geom text. How do I position dodge this? Oh shoot. ggplot change text location vertically. Let's see. Okay. I think maybe it's just aesthetic x equals DF corp win rate plus 0.1. Oh, it's actually Y that I want. Okay. Okay. How the heck do I fix this? So, what am I seeing that's interesting here? Let's talk about this data before we like spend a lot of time fiddling trying to make the perfect graphic. I think the first thing, so there's some data, some further data cleaning, right? Where it's like, oh, the way this cut is spread out is a little bit weird, right? We might want to just compress all cut games into one. We may actually want to use the groupings for everything else. This line, you know what? Let's actually, okay, I said we're not going to keep making everything perfect, but let's just add a geom h line. I think it's intercept equals 0.5. Is it y equals 0.5? Goodness me. ggplot h line. Why am I forgetting this? Y intercept. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is the 55% line, and then let's add a h line y intercept equals 0.54, I think was the... Wait, let's go and look. 53, okay. And then line type equals dashed. Okay. All right. So let's just look at this plot again for a second. So what we see is really interesting to me here. Like low, where we have high play numbers at low tables, you know, in the early rounds, we're representing this 53% win rate. Like, it's funny, in rounds like 1 and 2, these win rates are less meaningful. Wait, okay. Actually, this might be a situation where we have to start disaggregating double-sided and single-sided Swiss. Oh, no. Is that in my is that in this data set? I'm assuming it is, but... let's see. Oh, is it not? Or did I discard it earlier? Because that actually, I think, is going to change a little bit about when we call a tournament early or mid. Let's take a quick look at the original spreadsheet here. Oh, yeah, this doesn't tell me. That's a... Well, let's look for EMEA here. Apply to EMEA. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't tell me. Unfortunately. Phase round table. And like there's probably a way I could figure this out, right? Because this is phase round table. There's 2 entries. So I could probably figure this out, but it is tricky. So that might be part of why you break it into early, mid, late. But it is... I mean, part of it is like the easiest thing I can do is throw out the known double-sided events and kind of move on. Okay, but let's look at this plot for a second and see what stories it has to tell. Corp win rate is approximately fine. Like, this is all approximately correct. Like this is saying, yeah, it's about 53%. Sometimes it's a little bit below, sometimes it's a little bit above at the low tables, which is really interesting. You're right. That my hunch would have been that low table corp win rates were really high, because that is historically what I think happens in these events. But what we actually see, well, it's interesting. Like these medium table groups have a lot of variation, where like sometimes corp does really well, sometimes it performs well below expectations, and I'm guessing that this averages out to about 53.6 or 53, and then this is probably heading in the same direction. So I think we're going to do this plot again, but instead of, we're going to do this whole same analysis. Let's see. It's all one analysis. Because we're going to do this again. We'll just bring that up there. You know what? We can make a very silly column, which is df text label position. We'll say y position equals and geom text aesthetic y equals text label y position. Beautiful. And we'll just make this 0.03. And now we can actually mostly read the text. Not quite here, though, because everything is actually so consistent. Okay. So just doing it by round had issues. So let's take the round group that we're given here and try that. So instead of grouping by round, we group by round group. And everywhere we see round, we replace it with round group. Okay. So now we probably don't need to do this facet wrap, because we have fewer points here. And we don't need the geom lines. I don't think they're, or this geom line, I don't think this is helpful. And here we actually, because this graphic is so much simpler, maybe we, no, we actually want like 0.01. Okay. This is me being extremely... this is where I need actual good graphics knowledge to find a package that like figures out that like in a situation like this you put one below and one above, but yeah, this is really interesting. Or I don't know, this is maybe not really interesting, but I think this is somewhat interesting, right? Where low tables are actually where the corp is performing the worst. And then early rounds, like these two tables are basically the same, and corp is at its high watermark, and then it goes down ever so slightly as we get to later events. Now, I don't know how to explain this, right? That corp win rate is so much higher in the cut. What I will say is I did some statistical analysis earlier, and the corp increase in win rate is not statistically significant. It feels like it should be because we have a large number of samples in terms of like Netrunner, right? But we don't actually have that many samples. So if we go back to Kikai's blog analysis here, this ends up being 334 cut games versus 3,000, just shy of 3,400 Swiss games. And so this difference in win rates just doesn't bear, like, we cannot tell if this 54% is actually any different from this 53%. It is most likely that they are the same number, which is actually an interesting finding in and of itself, right? There's been a lot of metas, or at least the longstanding claim has been that you can go and see a corp win rate decrease over time. And that's not obviously borne out in this data. Man, the low tables being what is dragging corp win rates down is interesting. I think this is actually also kind of interesting. And I don't know how you think about this in the context of this, as these are somewhat equally sized numbers. There's also something weird going on with the relative data sizes here, where these have about 200 to 300 entries, these have about 200 to 300 entries, and these have about 500 entries. I would probably want to try and weight my early, middle, and late to be about the same. Well, not 100%, I don't know exactly how you would go about doing that. Or I think I would have to do a lot of really deep thinking on this data, which I think is an interesting exercise, but probably not great stream viewing. But yeah, this is very interesting. I don't know. So the other thing we wanted to do is look at this probably as a function of date. When John's like, I think there's more jank corp decks than jank runner decks at lower tables. Yeah, I mean, this could support the hypothesis that, like, runners are, like, on a base level more powerful, but then tuned corps are more powerful than jank runners, right? Yeah, if you just build a pile of runner cards, as long as you do approximately good stuff, you'll be in a good position versus not. I'd have to go, hopefully at the end of this upcoming meta, Kikai will spend all this work to put this data set together, because genuinely, this is a ton of work, and I can't thank Kikai enough for doing this. Yeah, this was an interesting one that got pointed out, that, like, corp win rates tanked at Montreal. And, like, I want to say, hey, Montreal's a forecast of the true meta, because I did pretty well at Montreal. I think, like, I do actually think, like, runners were very well tuned in that event, and corps were not. I'm not 100% on that. That seems a little bit rude, but, like, I don't know. Maybe corps are not tuned is incorrect. I think we're just seeing, like, runners being really good. And I want to say, like, oh yeah, we had everything sorted out. But, realistically, I have to, like, this is one of those things where you want to start looking at player counts. Like, for some reason, UK regionals, we don't have corp win rate data for Swiss, which is tragic, because this is actually this was a huge event, right? Actually, here, what we're gonna do, let's go and open this. No, this is not quite what I want. Yeah, but double-sided Swiss can do let's just go and okay, I'm just gonna see if we can get, oh no, these things really kind of are in the way. That's a little bit annoying. Matchup matrix, corp versus runner. Yeah, I mean, I think this is some interesting hunch things that I would have gotten wrong. I would have said, like, oh, maybe win rates are different regionally. They're not. I really want to get these counts though. Okay, we're just gonna do this, and we're gonna get a look at the hidden data here, because player counts I think is quite important. Or, you know, even just game counts is honestly pretty big. So it's like, when we look at things, let's take a look at some stuff. Hey, morning, Jai. Montreal incidentally had more ISO representation. Could be the reason for the low corp win rate. Oh, it's just 6. I mean, but this is the thing that I don't get. There's buttons to press for 6-0 and runner and corp splits. But yeah, anyways. So, because it's like, we don't have the number of Swiss rounds, right? But 157 games in Swiss is a huge data set. 115 in Montreal, 104 in UKC Scotland. So, like, to some extent, this is probably just like Corpse may have just gotten unlucky. Actually, this might be a fun statistical test. So let's go and do some statistical testing. I don't actually know the correct way to do this. I'm going to look at the likelihood of this individual outcome, but I don't know how to do this properly if we measure the same population the correct number of times. I think this is what I want. Hold on. I did this at work today because I was very productive. Binomial test. Is this what I'm looking for? Yeah, I think this is what I'm looking for. The binomial has success in null hypothesis. The probability of success in the Bernoulli is P. Okay. So, yeah, import... Oh, no, I want import SciPy. Whoops. So, Jai, right now, actually, the thing that we're looking for is... Nope. Okay. So, here's, like, the breakout. So, I think... I did actually do the stats earlier. Yeah, hey, Daria. So, here's the headlines so far. This was off stream, but the 53% win rate is statistically significant. The 54% win rate in the cut is not statistically different from the 53% win rate. It might be higher, it might be lower slightly, but it's not 53 versus 54 is not a meaningful difference given the data that we have. Other things we're observing, lower table corp win rates are on the whole lower than medium and high tables. Exactly how that splits out is a little bit tricky. It has to, right now, I'm mostly relying on the table groups. If I just look at round, the data gets kind of pretty noisy. And you can kind of, like, you can maybe squint and say, like, you know, there's probably some signal here where, like, especially with this medium table group, like, you have people that lost, then won, then lost, and like you see potentially like single-sided Swiss like oscillatory patterns of like good players ending up on one side or the other, which is something I want to look at. One thing actually I would love to look at here, we should have Saka's data specifically, and I kind of want to see how much of the lat win rate he is. We know that just his 12-1 record at the East and West Coast Nationals of the U.S. account for 1% of the 57% lat win rate, which is kind of, or like if you remove those two events, or just Saka from those two events, from the full pool of lat, it goes from a 57 to a 56% win rate, which is probably larger than any one person will have. But we're doing some other stuff at the moment, or I'm no, what's the freaking magic words I need to do? This is not what I did at work. Do I go and open up my work laptop to test? But okay, Performance, the number of successes. So now we go to here. NANPC was, we have, okay. We say this was 115 times 0.47. So we have 54 wins, and the number of trials was 115, and the P equals 0.53. So this is actually saying, the way I read this, is that if your true expectation is 53%, and you get 54 out of 115 measurements, that's like, I should know how to read the statistic, but this is not likely a statistically significantly anomalous result. This is something that you should expect to see in some number of tournaments. And so we could probably do this for every event, but I know once you start applying binomial tests like repeatedly to populations, you're supposed to do things in a different fashion, and that is beyond the level of statistics that I know how to do. So we're gonna go back to the match data for a little bit, because we have let's say we take runner player equals let's just try this. Oop. Not to call out soccer or anything, but let's just see. So sometimes he spelled this way. We need to check for other spellings as well. And wait, we already did that one. Oh, actually, we can go, let's see, match data, runner player, string contains Aka. Oh no, we want, okay, to list, and then is there like a filter? No. Okay. Okay. So what we'll do, so we're going to take this, match data, runner player. Okay. Hey, Sokka. Yeah, definitely not just stalking you. No, I'm actually, like, I'm very curious to see how you alone affect the 57% win rate on Lat. I do actually think Lat is the pretty clear best deck in the format. I think actually even before the World Tree ban, it has the potential to be the best deck in the format. And so, I think this will be interesting to see. But we want to find... Okay, we're going to rename this just to make my life easier. Oh, you just calculated it, Sokka? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you can spoil it in the chat for those of us at home going along, while I catch up. But what do I need to do? I went 23 wins and 2 losses across American Continentals, West Connect, all on Lat. Okay. I have 29 games for you here. Let's see. What do I want to do? I want match data replace. That's 2% of the 57. That sounds about right. I had about when I included about half of those games, it was 1% of the 57. So yeah. William / Saka with Saka. Let's try in place true. And this had... it didn't tell me. So... okay, and then we're going to get... oh no, it's result value counts. Okay, yeah, so we have across the entire season, it's your 23 and 4. I'm gonna go back to making my life easy and go back to Kikai's original work. Okay, so there was 470 lat games. Oh, actually, what? Let's just do this. Let's go and just get the overall results for lat. What do we have? It's columns, runner ID, value counts. We'll grab this. Yeah. So like, obviously, I wouldn't care about the ICC though. Like I wouldn't hold that against you. And like personally, from my perspective, I don't know. This is my jaded take is that, and apologies, Ja, you might want to cover your ears for this. That ICC is a for fun tournament, but maybe that's cope from someone who got knocked out very, very quickly both times I was there. Okay. And now we get result value counts. Okay. So so we have 267 minus 23 divided by 267 plus 203 minus 27. Yeah, so you know, Saka got his own math right, but yeah, 55%, so 2% of the win rate is solely dependent on Saka. And you know, if we cut out 2 games as a whole, so if we take 2 games off of if we just take the 2 ICC games off, so we say there's 21 corp wins instead of 203 instead of 201, and that's the only change we need to make, right? No, because our total Saka games went down by 2 here. Yeah, that's wait, why is that exactly the same number? Subtracted 2 here, and I subtracted, oh yeah, because it's -2 and -2. Wait, that suggests to me that something is wrong in my math. Because, wait, why does that work? I mean, like, it clearly works, but removing 2 losses should change. So something is wrong with my calculation. We're losing 25 Saka games, and we're still winning 23. Okay, I'm not going to worry about... Wait, I should stop and think for a second to make sure I'm not doing something very silly here. I am doing something very silly. Wait. No, I'm not doing something very silly. Okay, we're not going to worry about this. Saka accounts for 2% of the lat win rate. I think we could probably... Okay, I'm kind of curious to see match data... Wait, let's get the look at our... Like, I kind of want to look and see, like, are there other players who have this size or similar style of effects, right? So, Um, let's get Corp player. You know, as I'm saying it, I'm like, oh, you know what this is going to show is that Jeff has a negative win rate on the Arasana win rate. Yeah, okay. So we have Augusta Caesar playing a lot of games, so might be interesting to see how consistent Augustus was. Actually, I don't know off the top of my head. Now, is this getting too close to stalking? Is this okay because it was Sokka and now it's no longer okay? Maybe it's no longer okay. Let's go on to other topics that we want to look at, rather than go and stalk how a bunch of people played. Though Augustus having a lot of impact on this data is really interesting. Like, a lot of individual impact. Maybe it's just because he inputted his name correctly a bunch of times. Because I'm like, how many rounds did I play? If we go... Like, does Yuzengren show up here? Interesting. I feel like I played a good amount, but... Okay, let's just... Oh, you know what? I think I only show up the only event where I... No, I showed up... I played in a couple events. I just didn't do very well. Okay, let's look at how much I hurt Arasana's win rate. Let's do that one little bit of self-flagellation. Whoop. Okay, and then we get result value counts. Okay, yeah, I was 50-50 on runner. Actually, you know, it's not terrible in the scheme of 53-50. That's basically I'm reproducing the results. And we'll look at Corp player. And this is going to be brutal, I think. Really? I did so badly at Philly, though. Did I misenter? Did I enter something else? Let's try this. Interesting. Have I also only played 12 plus 11, 23 competitive games this season? I mean, I guess that's plausible. Man. I need to go to more events, I guess. Let me double check so of the events in this thing, I went to NANPC Boston. I went to NANPC Philly, US East Coast Nats, and NANPC Montreal. I feel like I must be entered as Jeff in here sometime at some point. Really? Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of stalking of myself here. Now that I'm curious, because 11 seems like 23 total games seems low. Wait, is it? Let's see. We are looking at tournament. Yikes, tournament. Yeah, Nick, remind me in like a few minutes. I want to do a little bit of self-stalking and flagellation first, and then we can talk about it. Oh, did I register as lowercase y? I did register as lowercase y. Yeah, that makes some sense. Okay, that adds another 7 plus 8. Okay, so I have to do a little bit of digging, but yeah, thank you, Andre. Okay, so the tournaments I went to were that we decided had enough sample size. NPC Philly. Jeff events equals NANPC Montreal. Oh my goodness, someone knows how to do the fancy keys. I guess you probably have to spell properly, but like NANPC Boston. So now you got me curious, and it turns out my ag contribution is the exact same. My ag record is much worse than that, with 15 wins and 3 losses across 3 nationals. Alt 0233, my dude. Okay, but I don't ever have to spell this stuff, so... Taking the 57.3 off the 237 ag games takes the ag win rate down from 57 to 55%. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sokka. Those are some great stats. Also, I'm very interested to see if you can three-peat. The meta looks pretty nice for you, I'm going to be honest. But I will admit I'm rooting for some fresh blood. But okay. So we want match data. But no, at the same time, it would be very impressive, and I think you've been playing so well this year, so it would not shock me. Okay, and now we need to get runner player value counts. Okay. Shockingly, at event, if I filter for just the events I went to the most, but we need to see head 116 and see if that works. I don't think this will work. Yeah, seeing World Tree. World Tree does not seem like a Sokka deck, I'm going to be honest, but okay, we're going to have to do the same thing I did to find Sokka, which was string contains Isengrin, I guess. So let's do it that way. Match data, runner player dot string contains Isengrin, and then we just take out the capitalized, and we get let's just get the shape quickly. So this is saying I played 19 games. Oh, 19 runner games, yep. And then if I take this and say corp player, 16 corp games. Ooh, that's rough in a corp meta though. In a 50, I mean, it's not a corp. The difference between, like, it is statistically different between 53 and 50%. Is difficult, I think, on a human scale, especially across only 35 games. I don't think that's that big of a deal. But okay. Okay, and then we actually can just get results. Value counts. Okay. Well, when I am corping, I'm pretty damn good at it. Which is very funny, because I have not felt good on any of my corps. Whereas I'm just even with runners. Which is, like, probably what I should expect. Let's actually, you know what? Let's group by... let's see how badly I did to Arasana. Oh, right. My Hoshiko, despite feeling like the strongest deck I've played all season, is only 1 win better. And, like, not even, like, a real win better. And we can group by... Corp ID. Asa. 7-1 on Asa. Jeez. Whereas my Ob was, like... This is why I've been so down on Ob this season. Because it has done nothing for me all season. It has hurt me so badly. Yeah, I don't know. Jai, I have such... It's funny. I did so well on Asa. But, like... It feels... It feels I feel like I'm playing a shuffle cup game every time I play. Well, maybe not every time. That's not true. Sometimes I just outvalue destroy people, and those are the fun ASA games. I love those ASA games. But there's so many times where I'm just like, oh, like I hope I installed 3 cards, and if they check them in the wrong way, I'm gonna win, and if they don't, I'm gonna lose. So I don't know, but maybe I should play. You know, Snarebeards have been doing their Worlds Prep now that the ban list is out. And everyone's like, hey, Jeff, how's ASA? And I'm like, I don't know. And yeah, 3-card Monty is a great way to describe the deck. Like, I think it is just part of how you have to play Corpse right now. And it's funny, like, even with this slight 53% Corp data, I think part of the reason it feels like it's a runner meta is because when you're playing the Corp, you feel like you are, if the runner could see what you have no way of winning. And there are Corp decks, and actually this is, I will say I've been trying to learn the Ag Infusion that Sokka built, and it is like very clear to me that my attention span is too short to properly play the deck. Like I will resolve a bacterial, spend like a minute thinking through my next 3 turns, and then miscalculate one sequence and go, oh shoot, now I have to compensate. But like the deck is very clearly strong and can be the like deterministic win. But in general, Corps have felt very much like I have to gamble a little bit to make a win happen. Which I think is interesting. I think contributes to why people feel like this is such a runner favorite meta. I do also think trying to come up with bad matchups for the lat is not tricky. Okay, Nick Mason, you asked, how should I prep for Worlds? And amusingly, now that I think about it, I am probably not the best person to ask. The reason being, I have never had to prep for Worlds where I was playing as a competitor. Actually, no, that's not true. I played in 2 online Worlds, and I did mediocre by my standards, which is I missed the cut both times. Which is a bad standard to have. I was in contention for a bit. I was like 1 win away, I think, in both Worlds. No. In Worlds 2021, I was like 2 wins away. In Worlds 22, I was 1 win away. And I threw a game. Or I threw my win and in on a 2-for-1. Not through, but kind of through. I also... Oh my goodness. This is now Jeff's story hour. In, I think we're getting close to the end of data analysis here. So... in Worlds 22, I'm playing Sports Metal because I'm like, everyone is going to be playing value Anarch piles. Hive Mind Max is a deck that I really enjoyed, but it is a deck that had completely fallen off the map, basically. Like, it was like, Jeff and the Germans are going to play Hive Mind Max and nobody else in the world is. Oh no, this was Continentals that the story is from, not Worlds, I think. No, I think it... Was this Worlds or was it... No, maybe this was Continentals. Where Pincel decides to play an American Continentals and is the only Hive Mind Max player in the entire field except for me, I think. I don't even know if I was playing Hive Mind Max for that event. And just like opens Imp into my Sports Metal Fast Advance deck. I'm just like, no! Every other runner in the field I can like comfortably beat, or I felt like I could, but yeah, that was a tough loss. Okay, so if Nick, your goal is to get in the top half, grinding games is obviously good, right? I think though there's a couple of things you can do to get the most out of your practice, which is, I mean, this is the 2-year turn is the article on StimHack that I always go back to. And this was, you know what, let's just go and find it. This is one of the all-time canonical how to practice articles in Netrunner. Turn Netrunner. So, Noah McKee was a fantastic player. I got to play him a little bit, but not very much. He goes and lays out this thing where he decided, like, I wanted to get better. And what happened? So he starts writing down mistakes he made and then reviewing the notebook on some cadence. And so this is just like, how can I make fewer tactical small mistakes, right? That is like a good way to happen. But then he talks about this other idea. And I actually think this is, by and large, like some good fundamentals for Netrunner, right? Establish an econ advantage, secure your board, disrupt, and then win, right? And that is roughly the order that you should be assessing your overarching game plan. Yeah, and I think if your goal is top half, this is like a great way to get there very, very quickly. So, you know, Andre and I have been doing some Andre invited me on to do some commentary on some NANBC Montreal games. It was really interesting because we got to see a runner who did very well in the event, but was newer. And like Andre and I talked about this player being newer, and when you saw the actions this player was taking, you could see things that they were doing that were like, they had this first level strategy going. They did not have this one quite lined up, and they didn't quite understand how this was going to roll into the game. And so they make a bunch of plays and clicks that were disjointed and maybe not quite coherent with their plan. Oh, Nick, no. You're going to do day 2. You're not going to go to day 2 in the top half, like trying to make the cut. But you're going to come to day 2 because genuinely there are so many great events happening on day 2 at Worlds. I think just perusing the Worlds Discord server very quickly, for side events planned, I'm assuming there's going to be board games. There's going to be a Chimera side event, which is going to be great. It looks like there's going to be either Throwback or Underground Classique. I don't know, is Janksgiving happening on Friday? Okay, Janksgiving is happening on Friday. That's actually a great thing to do. And then Ark's probably on Sunday. So, like, there's going to be so many things happening. I would definitely recommend, like, you know, coming back on Sunday. It is genuinely a very fun day. Though maybe you wander around San Francisco in the morning and then come back in the afternoon. I think that'd be pretty reasonable. And there's some other ideas in here. And then we talk about, like, you know, he talks about and breaks out his books and how he practiced. I would definitely recommend this article. This is stimhack.com, the 2-year turn. It's a fantastic article. I think it's a very good strategy for planning for Worlds. You know, I actually think just taking some time and looking through this style of spreadsheet and saying, like, you know, you have a couple choices here. You can say, hey, you know what? Let's assume that World Tree ban is basically a no changes ban. I don't know if that's correct, but I think it's a mode you could make, right? And so then you could say, hey, what runner deck, like, do we have overall win rates here on the edge? We don't. Okay. Oh, we have them here, right? So you could say, hey, I like one of these runners. One of these runners speaks to me. Maybe I want to learn to play the lat. It's probably a good idea. It's a 57% win rate, or if you take out Sokka, it's a 55% win rate deck. Still clearly like the best runner deck in format. The danger, of course, being everyone knows this now and is going to be preparing for it on the opposite side of the table, right? But like, you know, you can pick from this set of IDs and from this set of IDs and archetypes, like, hey, what do I want to play? And then you can say, okay, great, let's play, like, let's say I decide I want to play Ag Infusion, right? Let's say I just want to become Sokka and I want to play Ag Infusion and Lat. Well, things I might want to do is say, let's make sure I get some practice in for Essa, because Essa and Hoshiko maybe are matchups I want to spend extra time practicing because they are hard matchups for the Ag Infusion, like 47% relative to the normal 57%. So I want to have some idea of what happens because I think these are going to be both, you know, popular matchups. They're actually some of the most played matchups for the deck. And they're a little bit difficult. And then you can say, okay, I also expect I should play some practice games against Lat and probably against Kit, because these are both going to be very popular decks. So like, come up with this idea of like, not just, oh, practice a lot of games, but say, I want to practice these 2 to 3 matchups, or maybe 2 to 4 matchups as this corporation, and these 2 to 4 matchups as this runner. And then you can play some JNet casual if that's your deal. If it's not, showing up to casual meetups and learning how to play against decks where you don't know their game plan is the other part of getting to that 50% win rate. Because especially if it's one of those funny things about Netrunner tournaments, I feel like, where if you are like consistently in cut contention, it sort of feels like the Netrunner tournaments get like the people that are bringing decks that are like, how to think about this. There's like a set of like optimal Netrunner decks, and whether or not they're truly optimal, they are optimal to the point where a lot of very good players will agree that these are the things they should bring, and so you'll see the top five people of the cut bringing effectively the same decks from event to event to event to event, right? If you're in the middle, though, there can be a lot more variation in what's good and what's not good, and so like, I've had events where it's like, oh, I'm playing Arasana, and I hit 3 Jinteki Rush/Punitive decks. No Rush/Punitive decks made it to the cut, but my deck and my practice was not ready for me to play against those playstyles. And so because I could not adapt my playstyle, I lost all those games and never made it out of the middle tables. But if I played at the high tables, I felt like my Arasana deck was actually pretty well suited to the meta that was at the high tables, but not well suited to the Jinteki decks. And so, like, you want to make sure you have some practice with those game plans. But yeah, I think like in terms of Worlds practice, I would, instead of trying to just play a lot, I would try and play smart. Pick a deck, pick a couple decks, and then just like see if you can get a friend to grind them out against you. Let me think if I've got anything else. There's some other comments. Let me scroll back. I am like quite behind. Joe, are you looking for a runner deck? I mean, honestly, I think the Crew Hosh deck slaps. It's so much fun. I will also say, what was it? Let's go and search. I actually, like, I started playing this deck. This is like a... I have some changes I would make because I'm a different deck builder than Babarang Wu. But this is like a pretty actually good starting point. I actually do kind of like the 2x prog Q loop. It feels very odd to spend 6 influence and have effectively no asset tech. This deck, in fact, has no asset tech, which I cannot play in my meta. I need 1, maybe 2 Parishas to make this deck make any sense to me as a construction. I also don't like this Lilypad DCMZ split. I don't think it's particularly correct. I'm also not 100% sold on the Slap Vandal. Or I might play the Slap Vandal and skip the Physarum just because everyone's cutting their code gates because of Physarum anyway, so let me turn this into a Miss Bones and be pretty happy about it. Cupulation can do some of the work of a Miss Bones, but this list has felt, like, surprisingly good, and I'm a little bit sad that I didn't think about, like, oh, hey, Coalescence has come out, so now my Q-Loop could be an Econ card. That's a big deal. And the Aesops has felt pretty solid, so we might actually play this later in the stream. Actually, do we just play this now? I don't know. Supernaut, Max is another reason I want to check out Eternal, that and Geist, and CI, of course, yeah. Eternal is great, and I don't know. It's not great, but it's interesting. Okay, we're gonna... You know what? Let's go and play a little bit of JNet today. We'll see how the lag is. Oh, I already have it, and I'm 50-50 on it with no changes. We're going to keep it no changes for now. I need to... seeing that Andre had a macro that did this, I was like, oh. I should either get a stream deck or learn how to make other macros for myself. But yeah, I mean... Like, I think your options, Jai, are pretty obvious. You can start getting practice on Lat. You can play this Q-Loop Ari. You can play Crew Hosh. Or you can play the Tag Me Freedom. I don't like the Tag Me Freedom very much. I think it's, you know... I actually don't think the deck is that strong. I think it's good in certain meta setups, but I don't think it's generically good. I think it's, like, close, and Pylu is a fantastic player. I think inarguably a better player than me this year. So that is hurting my evaluation of the deck a little bit, but I do feel like there's other strong decks that I can play and understand. Maybe I just don't have enough reps, but my sense is the deck is not quite at the right power level. Ooh, this should be a fun one. This is a bit of a tough starting hand, though. Because it's just got a lot of setups. It doesn't have that much stuff. I love a lot of these cards, but this is a much better start, honestly. Oh, this is fucking 54 card, 59 card grinder op. Okay, so we're gonna have to conduit win here, and this is gonna be a very long, slow game. Okay. Yikes. I'm like clicking Coalescence twice here for 4 credits. I don't mind Rashida firing that much here. I don't mind anything being scored. I'm just going to let some things go for a bit. Are we killing me on turn 2? 3 credits? I kind of doubt it. Are we just value Reapering to go and get a Regolith mining license? Why are you telling me that's an upgrade? Oh, S is a really good deck to think about, too. SDS, okay. Basalt Spire, yep. Draw. We'll install the other Q loop. Let's go. Top of the stack is Cleaver and Cubon. Okay. Good to know. Don't really want to do anything here. Zvitagor, that's annoying. That's going to turn this into an Urban Renewal that goes on top of this. I mean, this is actually why... I mean, this is why not having Parisha in this list feels like an absolute crime. Because, like, this is a thing that can happen to you. And you just have nothing here. So we know that's a Cubon. Boy, this is freaking tough with, like, the econ on this list is suspect. Yeah, and this is mad combo as well. So yeah. You know what? I'm gonna YOLO this one a little bit because, like, I also know that my, like, without Parisha, this deck is in a very bad spot. Hey, Jai. Or, hey, Zeroth Maxima. Hey, we see an actual piece of ice go down. I think I have to just try and tank this Urban and not die. So it's like, just make sure a Reaper doesn't live on the board. Yep, can't touch that. Okay. Let's just draw a card here. Yeah, with 2 Reapers gone, it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to die, but my econ is going nowhere fast. Are we gonna sell this ice that the Cubon's on? Probably not this turn, but probably next turn. Sure, Jai. What's the Asa puzzle? Is it how to score a 5-3 from hand if there's a Wage Workers on the board? Because I know the answer to that one. That's not a legal... Oh, no. Yeah, trashing the ice is totally a legal play there. Yeah, I'm just going to lose a bunch of breakers here. And live with it. Hey, this, I guess I probably should have run HQ to see if there was an Ozef or something in there, but... the 5-3 answer is you Biotic Labor, install your Ikawa, and a Hollow Man. Advance 3 times, get your click from Wage Workers, click the Hollow Man, and for the mere price of... what, 4, 7... No. 3, 7... Yeah. For a mere price of 11 credits, you get the Fast Advance in Ikawa if you already have both a Rage... And then you have to spend another 4 on the Wage Works and the Hollow Man at some point. Oh, hey, Trick Shot's a nice card here. Yeah, Trick Shot actually maybe saves the game here. I forgot that's in the deck. We are going to get mad killed here, and there's nothing I can really do about it. I just have to win first. I do have the line of... This is going to be trickier now that there's ice on R&D. And most of my breakers are in the bin. I guess I have the Muse and the Trick Shot, so I actually am through basically everything. I think I have to go Credit, just in case this is a 3 subroutine piece of ice. Okay, I don't like either of those cards, so this is great. How much do I want to deal with this Tithe? Muse, 1, 2. Let's take from my stack an Ika. Post it here. Hostile Architecture can stay. Arts and Minds can stay. We'll Trick Shot into server 7. Okay. Frustratingly, JNut has that wrong. I am allowed to use Q-Loop there. To try and hit on programs again. So I have to do it now, though. Sure, I'll install DZMZ Optimizer for free. Steel Basalt Spire. Seems okay. And yeah, we'll trash a Reaper function. And no run on a remote here. I want to bounce this Ika back to my hand with UAV. I don't think I actually can, but we'll find out, I guess. Probably need to run HQ a little bit. There might be points in there. Server 2 is 2 upgrades. Server 8 and 9 are unknown. Yeah, I genuinely, like, I think having a Parisha in this deck would be good. I also I have come around to, I think you want sure gambles, not creative commissions, which I know sounds a little bit weird to be saying at 1 credit, or at 0 credits, excuse me, but I actually think it's a big part of not being at 0 credits all the time. Other options would be also like Dirty Laundry. Dirty Laundry with Q-Loop I think is like such a nice synergy, even though it's the least credits of all the above. Oh, you extract away the Tithe. So petty, so petty. Wow, and we do have another ice. Okay. So I think I have to run archives here. Ooh, Simulchip's nice. Hush and Physarum. Okay. Finding an Aesops would be nice. I think my plan next turn has to be to go and get a Cupulation and host the Trasher Coalescence to get Amuse, to get the Cupulation, to host the Urban Renewal on the Cupulation. Which is a real bummer. That's a expensive-ass turn for this board state. I'm also dead as soon as the Mad lands. It's a false lead. Oh, it's just an Azef for value? What? You have an Urban Renewal on the board. That play legitimately doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it just loses to a lot of lines. Yes. Hush and Physarum. Okay. We go and get the muse. We search the stack. We get a compilation. We host the card, and we click to draw. What a fun little 3 stack. That's a funny little one. What does this say? Because any of your installed cards. Great. I guess there's not enough cards rezzed for this to be a kill just yet. Now there can be a kill, or a mad kill next turn. Let's draw... Credit. I'm feeling like agendas have been panic sent out on this board here. But we're just gonna... I would love to see a simul chip. Nope. Okay. Breach the server. Do I want to send the compilation now? I don't think I do. Actually... Yeah, we can... Spin Doctor, Virus, Steel Basalt. Okay, we're 1 agenda away from winning. We're not really close to not dying, but that's a separate issue. Okay, my opponent is just value net damaging me, which is just freaking wild. Like, there's not a kill line here. Unless they have no, there's not a kill line here. I'm so confused. Are they just not going to fire this Reaper function? That would actually make more sense. Man, if that's an Oz F in server 14, I feel a little bit silly. And it looks like it might be. Or it's just a 5-3 that they're going to score. Okay, if they have an Angelique, I really don't care now. This gets me out of this game. Okay, that's what they had. GG. Okay, we're gonna like just not throw games for no reason. I don't know how you can build a Shaper deck these days that doesn't have Appreciate in it. Honestly, it needs a Bones as well, but that's fine. What are we cutting to make this make sense? I don't like this. I do like this. I don't like this. I want sure gambles. I actually think it's you cut a Cubon. Actually, no. I'm gonna... Well, no. You know what? Ballroom Woo was like, the Slap Vandal's so good, you have to try it. So let's give it a try. But... Okay. Isn't Conduit overkill with Trick Shot? No. That game we just played was an example of a game where I would need Conduit to win. You don't use Conduit in many games, but you kind of need it. Okay, this is... Jai, I'm looking at your thing. Oh. Okay, gave me literally 1 second. I guess that's my fault. Here, we're gonna look at this on stream together because this guy gave me 2 seconds. Oh. Let's see if this works. Okay. So this is runner's on 4 points, and it's our turn to do some psychic damage. Oh, and here's not again. All right. This is an okay hand. It's not a great hand, but it's an okay hand. And we'll come back to that puzzle. I have some ideas, but I think there's a way to score 4 points on that board state. But I think it's tricky. I think Spin Doctor gets to stay here. I'm glad I let Spin Doctor stay, I think. Okay. Interesting. So we're gonna go Muse. We're gonna search. No, if I spend all my credits to break this brand, I don't get to trash the Rashida. But if I get Propeller, boost, break and end the run, click through and end the run, I think this is the line. I guess Slap Vandal does the same thing, right? Oh no, that still doesn't work. Okay. So we're just going to do the value play here of getting a Coalescence, gaining 4, let Unbroken Subroutines fire, and I guess we'll install the Nuka here. So it does stink that this is a Rashida that goes. So I think that's probably the Spin Doctor, but maybe it's not. Oof. Let's click this. Okay. Let's go Simulchip, Cupulation, and we'll run HQ. MIC can stay. If Naligan gets, a second Rashida here. Ah, that's bad. That's not good. Okay, one Greasing, but MIC suggests to me that this is more of a Rotom style PD than anything else. Okay. Let's click to get some information first. Gamble. I think I'm actually just letting this go, which is a bummer. Lily Pad. Propeller. Draw a card. Ooh, Turbine's a nice find here. It's not a great find, but it's an okay find. It means I can go after this server next turn. No effing way. Alright, well now if I lose, I have an excuse. My opponent fired Rashidas on turns 2, 3, and 4. This is an odd time to Spin Doctor draw, so there's presumably agendas in our archives here, I think. We're hoping to draw a trick shot here. Gamble is not bad, though. Gamble. Run archives. Let's just install a Hush. Because I want to get some card draw here. Um, and let's put down an... I guess I'm gonna actually... No. This is tricky. I'm gonna throw down the ace off, so I'm not gonna use it, I think, but... I could sell the propeller, but it actually is the fastest way into server 1. I'm gonna turn the seamless to hand, yep. Okay, I'm gonna diesel again. Turbine. Run server 1. Oh, that's interesting. Do I face Ceramit? I don't think so. Oh, shit. Okay. So my intention was to Muse get a Slap Vandal. Because actually drawing these is a little bit annoying. It's not bad, but... Oh, I did this wrong. So it's just actually not worth challenging this brain because I'm no longer contesting the Manic Arm. So what I do is I install UAV and I simulchip, get a coalescence, and make some cash back. I would not be surprised to see ice over right here. Yep. All right. Let's draw. Let's trick shot. No action, that can stay. No action, that can stay. Server 1. Okay. We're going to do a very odd play of installing the Buzzsaw from hand. Actually, no, we'll do it this way. Yeah. No, it's supposed to be the other way, I think, so I could then run HQ on the... That's interesting. I'll spend the click because I actually think the 2 credits here is relevant. And... Yeah, I think last click run HQ is actually okay here over getting another Aesop's charge. Lag is not great. Okay. Okay. I think I'm... This probably suggests that there's another off-world office there. Just a bit of a bummer. But I think that's alright. Okay, nothing went in this turn, which is maybe enough for me to be okay. Man, getting no credits off this UAV was a bit of a mistake. I really want to draw a simul chip here. I'll run R&D and hope that we see a simul chip in the top 2. Nope. We'll pay 1 to host. Then we'll install a coalescence, drawing the environmental testing. So we have a Prisha on the top, which doesn't actually do anything good for us because we don't have the environmental testing down. So I think we just lose this turn. Is basically the long and short of it. Install advance is a guaranteed loss, I think. Actually, I might prog Q loop the Prisha just to get further in the deck. Yeah. If we can draw a simul chip, we're a freaking god. Ooh. Okay. It doesn't really matter which one of those I trash. Does this do it? Okay. I guess it doesn't actually matter, does it? Because I don't have any tech for this Ikawa here. And he can void me twice. And still hold the Seamless in hand, so I'd have to get into the server 3 times. Which is very difficult to do, considering that we don't have a Pisha Sao in the deck. Yeah, like, a Pisha Sao instead of a Slap Vandal seems nice here. Yeah, having my opponent not hit 3 Rashidas it would have been definitely nice. Though, like, turn 8 is fine. I think we have to steal 7 off of Centrals here. Because... yeah. So, Virum Venari, I don't think there's a world where you use Conduit early, because when your opponent is drawing a lot with Rashida, it's very easy for them to put a single ice on R&D and completely shut down your game plan. So that's why I don't love it as a game plan. Okay. So I think what my line is to run server 1 and just make sure he actually has... Oh, that is very interesting. Okay. He actually has all of them. Because if he doesn't res a void here, then it's not game over. Now, if there is a void, we just let the run end. And then we install Simulchip and run HQ. Okay, this is very funny. So I'm going to Q loop, install an Ika, drawing me a card. Oh, I guess I don't have everything to get past everything here. Let's see. Thinking. Because I can't Simulchip, get 2 credits here from a Coalescence, and also get something to break the Gatekeeper with. And he's probably going to trash the Cupulation. Yeah, we're just like a few credits short. I think we're basically 2 credits off of. Oh, I don't even have the credits for this. Lol. Lol, can't count. GG. Yeah, that is a tough one. That is definitely a tough one. Maybe this deck is bad. I felt like it felt alright, but maybe I was just wrong. Maybe I really cannot play complicated engine decks anymore. We will see. Opponent firing 3 back-to-back retreat is a little tough. Yeah, 1 and 3. We can go back to the... I don't think the DZMZ made a difference, but maybe it did. I hate this slot vandal. I think it does nothing. Would the slot vandal have helped us against the Lycean multi-munition? No. Yeah, I mean, this is like what I've been enjoying. The lists I was trying had more just burst econ, like more dirty laundries and stuff. Because this is going to be a tough game. The Cubon, I need to remember, it's a dead card in this hand, so we're going to take a mulligan, even though the hand's otherwise good. Oh god, this hand's terrible. I mulligan out of a playable hand into an unplayable one. I guess I can just... This might be a game where I can install Conduit, click for a credit, run R&D, pass. Um, oh god, this JNet lag on the run button's going to be terrible here. Okay. We just try to not get oppoed this turn. And then I think click for some credits back. And maybe click to draw because, like, these are blank cards. Did I not take the Slap Vandal out in time? Oh, I must have done it after the game. Oh, but we're seeing an ice. That is not what I would expect. Gain a credit. Let's run R&D. We'll install a Hush here. No action. Install UAV, and we'll get some econ going. Now, admittedly, I would love this to be a zero-cost card, but I do also need to worry about false leads, but my ability to contest them is pretty limited right now. I need to think about what the MCA... I need to remember what the MCA kill lines are. Like this... I don't know. This feels like a deck that's just like, oh, I'm not going to respect the meta at all and make no concessions to it. And, like, when you're not playing against the top meta corp decks, I think that feels totally fine. Oh, actually, no. Undo, click. I can't afford to run here. But against a lot of things, that feels very bad. Now, admittedly, Creative Commission does do better here. I think maybe, like, you could swap back, or I would probably try and find room for some dirty laundries. And that's the hard thing, is, like, slots are so difficult in this list. Okay, we're going to discard this Cleaver and probably the Slap Vandal, because I think Hush Viscerum usually beat every single ice in this deck. Next turn is probably just credit, gamble, because I think we don't die to any nothing scored here. If there's a false lead, I think there's some lines to lose. But I think without the false lead, I have some time here. Because it's... yeah. Credit, gamble. All this ice deck and this is one warm ocean. Yeah, that's certainly the case. So server 5 is actually a high priority check here. Probably it's a check with one click left. So it's like trash the MCA, check server 5. If I'm not dead here. But I don't think I should be dead here. Like, even scoring... like, yeah, we could be scoring a false lead here. An orbital superiority doesn't kill me because I'm on 4 cards. A tempo MCA seems wrong. Yeah, maybe there's going to be one of these cards as an MCA as well. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Okay, now I don't need to check server 5. That's nice of my opponent. Okay, so we're going to draw. We're going to run server 10 at random. I guess it's not random, it's the same way I did this last time, so let's actually run server 7 instead. Steal. I'll pay a click and 2 here. So probably this turn is the hypoxia. If we can find any tutor effect, the cupulation will be very nice here. Okay, draw, remove a tag, play a sure gamble. So there are starting to be a few more lines where I die. I think I might actually just muse cupulation after a click to draw next turn. And then try and put some pressure on HQ. Threat 4 for Jagarundi, I think. Yep. Unbroken subroutines will fire there. Because I lost the Physarum, that's a bummer. And I forgot to fire my Ika. Okay, Lilypad's not anything yet, but it's potentially something. Wage workers, okay. Wage workers protected by a Hendrick, most likely. And it's going to be annoying, but it's actually not too bad. Like, this feels kind of okay. I think I can pay 1 to trash because there's no false lead scored. I can check for another false lead. Okay. So I think this upcoming turn is install the conduit, trick shot, conduit, conduit. Yeah, I just have to go for the win this turn. So I don't really have a way to clear tags here. This is a pay 3 to trash.
Broadcasting live from our near-Earth hub studio, we bring you this special report.
No, that's fine. Yes, we'll run server 9 here. We'll now make a run on R&D. We'll pay 1 to host this. See a card we can't trash. And now we just have to hope that we can hit on 2 new cards. Alright, well, we lost. GG. So it goes. So it goes. Yeah, maybe I could have gotten the conduit down a little bit earlier and just like poked without seeing extra cards. I think the gatekeeper was honestly probably one of the bigger challenges there. I assumed it was the other one. I don't know why. It was a 50-50, but yeah, I feel like my odds were okay there, but maybe not great. I would like to get a win on this deck. I think it's a reasonably good deck. It's not well teched for the meta, it looks like, which is probably a reason it's not actually a good deck. Part of me wonders... Okay. What if we just cut some stuff? So if we cut... Because the thing I really want to do is put 3 dirty laundries in. Right? So if we cut a DZ... It's very hard to find other cuts. We're going to try a 47 card Ari. I mean, the other option is like you cut the Coalescences and you cut the Aesopses. But, I don't know. We're going to try a 47 card Ari. Oh, Jai is probably no longer here, but we can work on this fun problem. So, oh, 31 credits. Oh, we can do some absolutely bonkers shit here, because Hollow Man puts 3 counters on the Vitruvius for 1 click, and we can advance 3 times. So we advance 3 times, get a Wage Workers click, play a Biotic Labor, leaving us with 2 clicks, click the Hollow Man to put 3 counters on the Vitruvius, score the Vitruvius, recur the Biotic 2 more times to play it for +1, +2, and then we get another Wage Workers click. Then you actually, I think, take the Biotic Labor back a 3rd time and score the Offworld Office, and then install a Rashida, I think. Or maybe you don't have the clicks to install the Rashida. But that is approximately the line. Do you actually have a better line than that? So there's a Hollow Man behind this brand, which we could maybe use to fast advance the off-world. Wait, so we get to play 3 Biotics. We get to trigger Wage Workers on advancing and Biotic Labors. Advancing biotic labors. And then 4 biotics potentially. So we have 9 clicks effectively this turn, and like the sequencing is kind of whatever. Now 4 of them are spent on the Vitruvius, so we have 5 clicks remaining. So yeah, I think scoring the Offworld and the Vitruvius is the best you can do, but then you don't get to score the Ikoa for free next turn. So yeah, it depends. Jai did not tell me the Breaker suite for the Runner. Breaker, it does say that Runner has no breakers and a Banhar installed. Okay, that does inform some things, right? Because now we could score the Vitruvius. We score the Vitruvius, score the Offworld, and install the Ikoa. If we score the Vitruvius, install... I don't think we can win on this turn, because we just don't have enough clicks. Advancing, Hollow Man, Biotic 1 is, like, that's not the order, you have to do them in a slightly different order, right? That scores the Vitruvius with 3 counters. Then we recur 2 Biotics to go plus a click, plus a click. It's an extra click. Oh, and then it's like install an Offworld behind a Gatekeeper, install an Ikoa in server 1. Yeah, there's some weird ass stuff there. I feel like the 3 Biotics has to be the line, right? Having 3 Biotics we can pull on a stick. So we have to go Triple Advance Vitruvius, Biotic Labor so that we have 2 clicks left, Hollow Man. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me switch my... There we are. Okay. So most of these assets are not relevant. I have a screenshot of the bin as well. It's not as relevant. There's just a Rashida, 2 fully ops, and a Manic Arm. It looks like. 2 Nikos, a Spin Doctor, Mavirus, 2 Rashida powers that be. There's a Hollow Man also on server 1 though. There's a Hollow Man here and a Hollow Man here. The H is the Hollow Man, right? Server 1 and server 2 are Hollow Mans. Oh, maybe I'm misunderstanding, and you guys are just catching up. Okay. So we go Biotic so that we have 4 clicks. Advance 3 times so we have 2 clicks. Hollow Man click to get 3 advancement counters on the Vitruvius. We have 1 click remaining. We play a Biotic Labor, we go to 2 clicks. We play a Biotic Labor, we go to 4 clicks. Then we install the Offworld Office on Hollow Man 2, res Hollow Man 2, advance Hollow Man 2 score. Now the thing I don't like about that is it actually leaves 5 points in hand, so it's actually somewhat possible that we lose. So I think a better line probably... we can't YOLO Man twice though. Because we cannot... Oh! I'm assuming this is after start of turn triggers, but you know what? Maybe it's not. Because if you move this Hollow Man, slide it over, click gain 6. So I'm assuming this is after mandatory draw because we have all 3 clicks allotted, right? Let's see if this was... because this has to be after a mandatory draw. Yeah, if you can slide the Hollow Man, you actually might have the combo line because you can have 6 counters on the Vitruvius, which I think is enough. Yeah, let's pretend that we did not know, because, like, okay, let's assume we did not know we were going to draw the Ikoa, so we don't have a 7-point combo line here. We just thought we had a 6-point combo line, which is not worth blowing the whole bank for, right? So we're not going to have this double Hollow Man. Yeah, you can install 3 things to still score an off-off with 1 extra biotic. Yeah, so I think it's Hollow Man... The thing, I want to install an Ikoa and an Off-World Office, basically, is the plan, right? And we can put the other Off-World Office behind this brand. So it's... Yeah, I'm actually... This is like a puzzle. These are the puzzles I'm really bad at. This is why I shouldn't actually play CI, right? So, we said it's 1 Biotic. It's the Biotic from hand. 3 advancements. And the Hollow Man. And we have 1 click left. And we have 3 counters on our Vitruvius. We spend 1 counter on the Vitruvius. And we play our 2nd Biotic. We spend another counter on the Vitruvius. We play the 3rd Biotic, and we have 4 clicks left. Maybe you Vitruvius a Hollow Man after recurring Biotic 3 times. I think we have other ways to get value out of the agenda install. I guess then I actually think we might use the final Biotic to go up to 5 clicks. Biotic, Advance, Hollow, Biotic, 4 clicks left. Install Off on 2nd Hollow. Install Ikoa in Doom Remote. Gain 2 credits. Install Rashida behind Gatekeeper. Biotic. Advance. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ian. Yeah. And that leaves you with a Hollow Man behind Brand 1 that if the runner does not trash, you just get to score the Ikoa the following turn. If they do trash it, you score the... Oh, and actually you've put another piece of ice there, so with no icebreakers, they can't get in. And so you... Yeah, R&D is the only way you lose there. That's pretty good. Yeah, potentially instead of the Rashida, you actually install... Okay. I think this is the... It's like the... How do I minimize my loss percentage at 31 credits here? You take Ian's line of Biotic, Triple Advance, Hollow... And then you play 2 more let's just say you play all 3 Biotics so that we can make it easier. So we have 5 clicks left. Install Off, protecting it with a piece of ice. Oh no, we don't need to protect it with ice. Yeah, but we install Off and like a virus or something. Then we put a Gatekeeper on R&D. We put an Ikoa back in server 1. Actually, no, we go Gatekeeper Off-World in server 2, Ikoa in server 1, gaining 2 credits, Gatekeeper on R&D, Advance, Hollow Man trigger. This Hollow Man is affected by a brand and a Gatekeeper. This Ikoa is affected by a Drafter and a Blade Barrier. And then R&D is protected by a Gatekeeper and a Magnet, so nothing comes in. The above line costs 30 credits, including the Trancred money. Then you gain 7 off the off. So you don't actually have enough to do everything you actually need to do next turn. If the runner makes you res any ice, the Ablative Barrier probably gets you there. in a lot of cases. Wow, that's very funny. That's cool. Okay, we're going to play one more of this, and then we're just going to play an ASA game, and I think call the stream there. And we're just going to play 47 cards, not worry too much about it. But let's see. Yeah, who would have thought that playing 4 Biotics might eat to those 30 credits pretty quickly, right? Because it's 4 Biotics is 16, 2 Hollow Mans is another 8, that's 24, plus raising a Hollow Man is 26, advancing 3 times is 29, and then advancing 2 more times is 31, so probably I'm off by somewhere, but then you also get 2 off of the Trank grid, and then 7 off of the off-world office. So you have 7 credits, which is just enough to advance, Hollow Man, score the Echo of the following turn, which is pretty funny. No, I was including the second Hollow Man res in the third, but I counted to 31 credits, right? 3 for advancing, 12 for Biotic Labors is 15. Then 1 Hollow Man costs 4. Oh, you're right. No, it costs... Wait. Both Hollow Mans basically cost 6. So that's 12 plus another 12 is 24. And then we're spending 5 on advancements. Wait. Sorry. We spend 12 total on Hollow Men. We spend 12 total on Biotics. That's 24. And then we spend 5 advancing. That's 29. And now I've lost 2 credits somewhere. Alright. Oh, it's 16 on Biotic. Yeah, you're playing 4 of them. So 16 plus 12 is, my goodness, 16 plus 12 is 28, and then 5 more for advancing is 32. So we actually need the Tranquility home grid, and we actually can't afford to install up install ice. We're just gonna let the single on R&D ride. So actually, I think you end up leaving both off. Yeah. Interesting. Let's do this. Yeah, you do install the Rashida. Oh, hey, it's Mitosis. This is going to be a fun one. Let's take some core damage, folks. So Urtica is 4 damage, so I don't get to do any installs here. Okay. Honestly, don't hate it. Losing 1 UAV does stink. Yeah. Okay, we're playing... Man, we're just playing against the most fun people tonight. Value viral weaponization out of Issaok. Let's get big pieces down. This is probably the swordsman we saw. Alright, well, if opponent's not going to make me do anything, I don't feel like I need to. Draw. Man, am I tempted to, like, do some silly stuff here. Well, I think this is just, like, play it a little bit slower. I, like, want to go for a very, very greedy line here. I think actually just drawing is okay, though. Okay. Yeah, this is just install propeller to gain 8. We'll probably end up selling this propeller. And recurring like a cleaver. I think that makes sense. Alright, we get to do the game again. That's what I get for not pressuring centrals. So we know there's a trick of light in hand. So once again, 4 cards in hand is the magic number. Let's trick shot here. Cubone and a Muse. Okay. That is interesting. Nice. Let's take that hybrid release. Let's draw. And environmental testing is and actually Aesop's is okay here. Let's draw a bit. Oh, hey, that's a very nice card. Yeah. We're going to play this one out a little bit slow. If my opponent has the third mitosis and I just lose the 50-50s, so it goes. It's so fun to be playing against mitosis. I'm so glad this card got reprinted. Honestly, again, this is the why are we like we're paying the it's paying the crimes for cerebral overwriter sins. Like without cerebral overwriter, I actually can just check both those servers. So my opponent, I guess, was trying to win all on that turn because they would score the Fuji and the hybrid release. Which would be pretty good for them. Okay, so we're going to install Cupulation, draw. I think we're going to draw I want to run HQ. I think if they res an enemy, I actually jack out. But oh, sick. I'd love to steal their Trick of Light. I feel like it does. It maybe doesn't make that much of a difference, honestly. Lotus Field. No, you can have your Lotus Field. I don't really care about it. Probably not selling anything this turn. Maybe I should have installed the Coalescence, but... These are unadvanced servers, so I can check them pretty quickly, easily. Yeah, I'm gonna get jerked out of the dirty laundry, but I don't think I care as much. Let's run server 5 here. We're gonna trash the Coalescence, which isn't ideal, but we don't have a ton of choices. Alright. Don't mind that. I guess I could have optimized a little bit and Q-looped the Buzzsaw onto the field, because I don't think I used Q-loop, and that was just like a... Yeah, I hadn't used Q-loop to install, so I should have used Q-loop to install there. Yeah, I don't have much left in stack here. Sure, Gamble and UAV, those are both pretty dead. What does this do? Okay. If the runner breaks the printed subroutine on Mirage, he or she is now running archives and passing. If any D-res Mirage. Okay. We'll fully break it, because my opponent being on 2 credits is fantastic. No. Breach the server. No, I don't really need to Cupulation. I could Cupulation to then sweep HQ, but... if he reses again, I will break again and then run HQ for the final time. Yep. Sure. Well, Cupulation the tree line. I don't understand what my opponent's deck is doing. They're running Viral Weaponization, Fuji Asset Retrieval, 2 Project Yaku Udis, a hybrid release, and a tree line. It was not on my bingo card, is all I'll say. I'm gonna draw, sure gamble. Let's run HQ. Okay. There's the blood in the water. And the snare my opponent can't pay for. That did not feel like a real game, but you know what? I said I was going to go out after a win, so we're going to do that. And we're going to play Asa and call it a night. Wait, was this a meme Asa? No, this was just the Asa. I'm going to try a couple of swaps here. I'm going to try going back to cohort, and we need to get an extra ice in here. Let's get a single magnet, I think. Actually, we're going to make one other change as well. We're going to go down to a single virus and put back 1 powers. Oh. Oh, I didn't save my changes. What? I kind of want to try going back on cohort. I liked cohort a lot when I was playing it, but yeah. All right, it's Brad. Let's go. This is where I'm going to get punished for cutting, cutting the virus. Yeah, you can see my wage workers. Hijacked router? You monster. What is this absolute clown show nonsense?
And now, broadcasting live from our near-Earth hub studio, we bring you this NBN special report.
Like, why are you playing hijacked router? You have so many options. Hit me with that Doof City. I don't even think the Doof lands that well this turn. Okay, let's draw 2 cards. Draw 2 cards. Gain 2 credits. Interesting. So I could play 3 fully ops and then install a Luminal. Which sounds pretty sick. I think we're going to play it a touch slower, though. And maybe that's wrong. Actually, no, I think that's okay. Opponent's on 9 credits. They have a reasonable threat range here. Maybe should have res the Manic Arm. I was wondering if I need to res it on a single here. You know, I guess I probably did, but okay. So sequencing here is Nico campaign in a new remote. You can see that that's a Nico campaign. A Luminal in server 2, a Manigarm in server 2, and then a fully operational to gain 8. And we have another fully operational in the bin to draw us cards after this. Okay. We'll res the brand here. I probably shouldn't have put the... I should have probably put these the other way around, but... Yeah, Boomerang is an annoying blow, for sure. Oh, Hijack Router ruins this entire game plan. Woof. Okay. I think if I just like calm down a little bit and... Oh. Oh, okay. According to chat, undo turn breaks JNet right now. So I will concede. Yeah, I think if I don't play, like, balls to the walls aggressive there, I can just play slowly and cautiously and actually grind out value there. Because my draw was actually pretty good. I was just trying to play fast and giving up stuff by doing so. Okay, let's draw. Let's draw. Let's draw. I think you can just see what I'm doing here. Amakua. Okay, yep. Really want that second Matthias here. It's probably not super relevant this turn. It's going to be relevant for the wage workers for sure. I'm advancing here so the wage workers is less of an attractive target. It does mean if he singles off of R&D here, I'm in a worse spot. But I don't want to have to res everything here. I'd actually like to avoid resing the ablative barrier for a turn or two. And there isn't actually a Hermes down, so I don't need to be as worried about it. Yeah. Just having Reza Gatekeeper here is totally fine. Okay, I have a couple options. But I think it's actually just time to start icing up centrals here. Brand's a little bit out of my price range right now. Yeah, Bowen's find there is not great for me. I think I'm actually purging this upcoming turn and then in another 2 turns, unless I top deck him a virus. Because Brad doesn't have that much money, and him spending clicks on archives is okay here. I think we're going to click for 2 here. And he gets to go this turn, but not next turn. Takobi does work on a non-AI icebreaker. That feels even stranger to me. I think we're going to get rid of another expensive ice. It's probably the MIC. Docklands is somehow still not concerning. This is gonna go in server 1. Oh, no, that's not what we're gonna do. No, that's fine. It's gonna go in server 2. And we're just gonna click for a credit. That's not ideal. Well, now I get a little owned. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of them off. I either have the Luminal or the Rashida here. I actually might get both if he goes after server 2, which I think is the more valuable server here. Nice. This is great. This actually gets me everything I want. I think. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be a 4-cost Rashida. So we add the hedge fund back to hand. We install a Tranquility home grid in a new remote. We pay 1. We install the Rashida on it. Opponent can trash this Rashida. We res this Rashida. Okay, this is going to be a very odd turn. Score. Res. Install in server 3. Tranquility home grid, gain 2. Oh, I guess I could have installed the ice first, but that's fine. Gatekeeper on server 3. We do want to stop the Amakua counter. And then it's going to be hedge fund. Let's just do ice HQ. I think maybe I do. It's so expensive though. Yeah. And next turn, I think, is Purge again, because I am extremely punished by cutting them a virus here, because Amaku is just so good against me. I don't think I res yet. I think I wait to res until we're later in the turn. If I res this Gatekeeper, I cannot res the Bran, which seems bad. One of these two cards will die. I think I'm okay with this trade. Yeah, I just like, I need to draw them a virus to have a chance in this game, I think. Okay. I don't... My opponent has not tried to use Takobi yet. I'm going to assume they're running some number of real breakers. Um... But I think we're going to find out at some point pretty soon. I would just like to find a virus, please. Oh, I'm also going for the hard agenda score out pattern here, where I need a Biotic and a Wage Workers now to close out the game. I think the deck is only on 2 Wage Workers. Oh, I don't need it. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, we don't need a bunch of trashables in hand. So I need... Oh no, I need this with the one of the 2 remaining Vitruviuses to fast advance. But that's okay. If I do draw them a virus, I am an extremely happy boy. No, I guess it doesn't really matter here. Oh! Look what the cat dragged in. I mean, it's not actually that relevant right now, amusingly. How many fully ops do I have left? I have 2 fully ops left in the deck. Okay. Oh, could I have just, like, installed them a virus behind the ablative? Like, gone Awful to Office, Mavirus, install Hollow Man. I don't have enough credits, but I think that might end up being approximately what my line is. Or maybe actually overriding the Gatekeeper. Oh yeah, Gatekeeper, Mavirus, This hijack router is not super relevant. This is interesting. This is also in the bladed bearer? Yes, it is. Okay, great. So we install Rashida in server 1. No. Do I want to install the virus now? I don't think I do. I'm going to use the virus to actually go and make forward progress on the board. Oh wow, Brad is very scared of the virus, which is very nice. Oh, I don't have the 2 credits. Oh. That's tragic. I'm off by 1. Jeez. Oh, that's really bad. I think next turn is Purge here. Like, I think a manual Purge into the virus is maybe my line here. You're gonna jack out, right? No res here. A steal doesn't hurt too much. Yep, this is just Purge. Everything is a-okay here. I actually can... Like, this is the only server that in theory can be run, and it's not a cheap run for Brad here. Or the Patrician. I think it's Brad the Patrician, but maybe I've got that wrong. Here we have a Kurapira, so Archives is gonna be alive for making accesses happen. Spin Doctor is not really what I wanted. Let's see if we can find points. Okay, we found 2 points. Wait, so this is 6, 7 to score. So I can also just click for 2 credits here, right? It's basically what we're saying is I can click for 2. I don't need to do anything fancy here. The temptation to do something fancy is so high. But the realization that I am just... Yeah. It's actually just... Like, this is the biggest tell of all time, I feel like. But what can you do? Wait, did I have it this turn? Oh. Because I get to ASA install at the same time. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Right, because it's install the Vitruvius and the Hollow Man on server 3, go up to 7, advance, advance, go down to 5. No, I'm off by 1. I need to be at, so it's actually 8. Yeah, it's 8. Okay. Yeah. It is. Now, Brad can go run archives, run archives, run archives, and then run HQ. And that's actually the winning line here, or the not losing line. So, Resingless Drafter effectively costs me 1 credit and puts Rashida in server 3. I think that's okay. Oh! It's only 1. Oh my goodness, I'm a frickin' buffoon and a half today. I had the win, that's tragic. Yes, Tranquility, gain 2. Done. This is a high probability of being a rip. It was not a rip. Wow, that's very lucky for me. Pinhole. Yeah. You can have my Spin Doctor, or you can have my Rashida. Up to you. It's amusing that the Tranquility home grid is technically the correct trash here, but I don't think Brad has a reasonable reason to know that. Oh, he's using the hijack router to make me lose 3. So this game goes on for another turn. Nope. Okay, the other option here is I go like... Oh, did I discard a Gatekeeper? Oh, what a buffoon I am. Oh, shit. Okay. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. How many times do we manually purge? 3 times? Woof. Now I don't need the credits, so we can just let everything go here. I guess I could have res the Manigarm just to make Brad spend his entire turn, right? And 7 we determined was enough because it was install, res, click for 4, advances 7. So it's actually the same as playing a Biotic Labor, which is wild. Okay, well, we salvaged the second game after playing the first game like a little bit of a monkey. Well, I think that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Two in hand this turn, but mostly in R&D still. I think you only ever had 3 accesses that were at risk of touching agendas, but I don't recall exactly. All right, you know what? Let's quickly go and check. Yeah. I'm just kind of curious. Not because I think he made bad runs, but I'm just kind of curious. Okay. So, no accesses. So, 1 access. We know, actually here, we'll just do spectator view here, right? This, like, you can't know that HQ is clean there, but it was, right? So I guess that would be 2 accesses, but we knew that 1 was clean. So this is actual at-risk accesses. This is 2, 3, but these are not actually at risk. They could have been, but they were not. So, like, Brad's definitely a little bit unlucky here, right? Only 1 agenda in these 30 cards. Shell game it up. Okay, so this is the second access of an unknown card that could be an agenda. Yeah, being off by 1 credit here was stinky. Third chance at an agenda, and the Hermes comes down after, which actually does make sense. I was about to say that doesn't make sense, but it totally makes sense given the board state. And yeah, we actually had the win this turn. Here's the 4th access of an unknown. Yeah, that's really interesting. Huh. Yeah, only 4 accesses where there was actual risk for us as the court. And like if we want to count the HQ interface on the inside job, the Docklands Pass on the inside job, because like my hand probably should have had an agenda in it there, that still only gets to 6. So like despite feeling so under the gun this whole game, we were like pretty favored to pull out ahead here. That's interesting. I don't think Brad, I think we could, I don't want to analyze Brad's play in detail here. I don't think that's the point of this stream, especially not this late in the night, but for you Red Crim players out there, this is maybe one to think about and look at and analyze and figure out what the right approach was to blow me up, because I think I was very exploitable. Though maybe with my agendas stacked the way they are, I was actually completely not exploitable this game. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's ASA. That's fun. And manually purging 3 times, still winning. Manual purge action OP. Thanks for the game, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.